This video was sponsored by Enhance, Elbilmek, a bit planner, Kempower and bilkomponenter. Yo, what's up? Today we're going to do a quick review of this Toyota Proace Max. This is a whopping 111 kilowatt hour battery. It is roughly as big as, what was it again, the e-Crafter I tried, the Volkswagen e-Crafter. Okay, maybe not as big as Sprinter, but it's a big, proper van. It can tow 2,400 kilograms. It's the perfect workhorse. So, yeah, here you can see, compared to a regular Proace. So the Max is just a lot bigger. If space matters, you want to be a Temu driver, then get this van. So let me see. Wow. Okay, there's plenty of legroom, that's for sure. So we have, yeah, this, I see now the difference here. Here, I've been testing the other smaller vans, right? Small and medium size. And here you need to climb up here like a mother trucker. Get up here. Oh, wow. Hey, nice seats. All right. So, let me see. Key. Get it here. Yeah, this is anything. Proace Max. You can check out the license plate maybe if you're Norwegian, if you want to see the vehicle stats. But it looks slightly different than the other cars. Interesting. Where's the... Oh, there's a start-stop engine button here also. Okay. Where's the volume control? Is this? Trying to find... No, here, of course. There. But this is different because the two other, the Proace and the Proace City, the gear selector, the infotainment, everything looks more or less the same as the Stellantis. Here, they have, I don't know, you have a different approach. I can see some Stellantis elements maybe, but we also see state of charge here. Range is 404 not found. The screen is also different. It looks like an iPad that just slapped down there, a too small iPad. Should have maybe a bigger screen, but okay, whatever. Does it still work and look like Stellantis? Yeah, okay, it still has the Stellantis look on it. All right, but let me see. I'm gonna check it out. What do we got here? We have USB A and C there. We have trouble outlet there. Cup holder in nice position there at least. What about for the driver? The driver is not supposed to have any cup holders. Or maybe, no. What is this space for putting your stuff? But here, wow, look at that. That is a big ass glove box. Plenty of space for the TPS reports, but you also have a glove box over here. Look at that. Plenty of space. Here also, more space here. Yeah. But what about the cup holder here? Huh? I mean, oh, you put it there. Okay, fine. Oh, wait. So for professional drivers, you will have the driver recorder thing here. You can see, yeah. If you're required to take those breaks and so on. Okay. And here also a shelf to put more TPS reports. There. Handles here for entering and exiting the van. Plenty of headroom, of course. But let me see, the seats here, will they actually fit 3 adults? Absolutely, we have plenty of space here. Same on this side. And I like the seats, comfortable, soft, and the floor is totally flat. So it makes it easy to slide between here. And unlike the Proace right over there, which has a weird annoying hump here where the gear selector is. Here there is no hump, but just flat. So the middle passenger can actually sit quite comfortably. But you see here, there is no seat that can be folded or anything. They are just fixed like this. But yeah, also in the back here, this is more solid metal. And yeah, eventually Toyota will offer an option where there's a different cargo wall here that they get retrofitted from Lafinto, which is a Norwegian company that retrofits vehicles. Then you can get around 10-12 centimeter extra cabin room And then you can adjust the driver's seat in a more comfortable position, because right now it is quite upright with the church bench seats. But man, massive space here. I can stand up here. I'm 173 centimeters and there's plenty of space here. Wait, can I open the door from the inside? Well, you can, of course you can. Of course, you can't kidnap people in here. They can open and escape. Well, yeah, let me see. So we have the barn doors here. Wow, that is massive. But the instrument cluster looks a bit analog. Well, it is. This is just more like a semi-static display. This is the regular screen. And also I'm trying to find out where the heck the trip meter is. There is no trip meter button here like in the other Stellantis cars or the other vans we have over there. So I actually haven't found the trip meter. Tried to look and I couldn't find the obvious places where they are. So okay, whatever, we might skip that. Just want to get the impression of how this car is to drive then. And then you twist this to change gear. Huh, interesting. Oh, I can feel this is a big vehicle. Yeah, it feels more like driving the Volkswagen e-Crafter. Yeah, it feels more like a truck than a van, but it's just a big van. So yeah, there we go. If you need to haul big items or big loads, use this van. And also with 110 kilowatt hour battery, you can actually get some distance and hopefully get good charging speeds, right? So yeah, how many of you guys want me to do a 1,000 kilometer challenge with this van? You have to beat the other vans, right? Yeah, the biggest battery I had in the van was the EQV 100 kilowatt hour. But wow, it is remarkably comfortable. Also sounds, wait, how do we disable the speed limit warning? Shit. Is there a quick way to do it here? Okay, I'm not sure, but whatever. But I almost feel like the bigger the van, the better the comfort. How is the blind spot? Okay, go. I set it in normal mode now. Is it quick though? Oh, what the? It is actually quite quick. It seems like it has a significant amount of torque. I haven't checked all the specs here, but I mean, this front wheel drive, how many horsepower do they dare to put in the front wheels? Maybe 204 horsepower, right? 150 kilowatts. But it is quick. But okay, the van is empty. If you load it with 1,000 or 15 kilograms of cargo, then of course it will be sluggier. But how is it over a speed bump? Well, you already went over one speed bump. I almost didn't notice it. Nice. Here you sit tall. Yeah, like a truck. I feel like I sit in the Ford F-150 truck. You know, sit nice and tall, high up there. Let me get slightly. Wait, let me see. Is that annoying speed limit warning again? There. Okay, then it comes and goes. Man, freaking stupid EU regulation, man. Okay, let me try to turn around somewhere. But let me get over another speed bump. Let me see. How is it? Wow, it is actually surprisingly comfortable. It doesn't kill my spine. Yeah, nice. Okay, I'm just gonna turn around here. Just doing a quick tour. Oh shit. This space might not be the best, but now let's test the maneuverability of this van. It's a big ass van. Wait, I accidentally twisted it over to the park. There's a fairly big backup camera, which is good. Not sure if it does the beeping outside, like deet, 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 or not. But all right, there. Wow, but the resolution of the backup camera is so crappy. Oh, okay, it beeps outside. Yeah, so that's good. When you have something big like this, then I might not always see everywhere. But then now, how do I see on that side? The problem is that I cannot see too far over there. Okay, all good. But this is just the name of the game. When you have a big van, you don't always see that clear around you. But there's also no camera mirror or whatever, so I need to just use the optical mirrors here, and I can't see anything behind me there. But how is the regen? I can increase regen. Oh, wow, it's also quite powerful regen, even at 94%. I try to hammer it and then slow down. Yeah, it has quite strong regen. I like it. Feels like one pedal drive. So it actually rides really well. I'm surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised about this Toyota van. And okay, we haven't done any crazy motorway hammering, but just by driving around city here, I don't hear that much road noise. So comfort and sound levels should be quite good. Yeah, except for that beep. But I mean, eventually, if I would spend more time, I'll try to figure out how to disable the speed limit nagging. And I'm just blown away about how quick it is. At least they didn't make a slow van, you know. They put enough horsepower in here, but like this scooter by Nyland, I mean, if you have 110 kilowatt hour battery, should at least be able to pull 150 kilowatt from it, right? That's just 1.5 C. Okay, now going downhill towards Toyota again. And I have so strong regen that I need to push the throttle slightly to control the regen. Otherwise, I'll be slowing down too much to actually on complete stop. Oh, wait, no, that's weird. It slowed down almost to a complete stop, but then it went a little bit faster. Okay, but whatever, it's not nitpicking. So yeah, overall, totally fine. I could understand why people want this van for delivering the Temu goods. Yeah, you want a cheap van. Okay, maybe not that cheap, but lots of range, so you don't have to visit the fast charger that many times. And you can also haul cargo and even pull 2.4 ton trailer, right? It makes perfect sense when you have a big battery. And from what I remember, all these vans, this van and also the other vans here, they use Panasonic batteries, Japanese technology. Yeah. Okay, let's see, how is it to back it up now? Well, what the, huh? Well, the backup camera is so high up, but it's so blurry. What? Huh? Like 2024 tech that has so low resolution on the camera. Seriously? Okay, how good is the turn circle there? Okay, I mean the circles claim that I can make it. Can we actually make it though? Yeah, okay, we can. It just feels a bit close. Okay, maybe I need to go forward. But you see here, there is no 360 camera. You just have to maneuver this manually. But the backup camera is placed so high. I tend to do this when I change gear. I twist too much, and then from drive to reverse, those are the tools I want to use, right? I switch too fast, and then I go over to park. That's kind of clumsy. It would be better if you have a push to park, right? But I mean, it still works to maneuver this big beast into position, and all the other cars, they look so small, at least from the camera's point of view. Wait, I think we're supposed to stop here. There, stop, park, okay. Alles good. And then how much did we consume now? Ich weiß nicht. It's somewhere here. If I spend more time with this car, I'll figure it out. Oh, I found out more about this van. You see, here, there is a rule that says that if you drive in a radius of 100 kilometers, you don't have to use this, but normally you have to use this, and you have to have the driver's card in here that registers everything, your speed and how long you've been driving on off, because this is actually on white license plate, because it's not a van, it counts as a truck. And if you look at this vognkort, or the registration information for this van, there was probably a new rule that came not long time ago, where the e-Craft didn't get, right? So this weighs more than the 3.5 ton limit. This is 4250, but I can drive this with a B class driver's license Then the way they allow you to do this is because the car manufacturer need to document how much extra the electric drivetrain weighs, and it has been documented to be 1,091 kilograms. Yeah, and also this car has 270 horsepower, 275 horsepower, I think it was, on the front wheel. No wonder why it felt so quick, but because of this, you can then still get 1,200 kilogram of payload and drive it with Class B. But if you want to pull trailer, you then need to have CE1, I think it was. Then you need the truck license plate with the trailer license, driver's license with the trailer, which is the E. So CE, I think it was C1E or something. So there you guys have it, the Proace Max. If you need to haul the most cargo and even tow a trailer, this is the van for you. But there are other vans out there also, like the Fiat Ducato. What is it called? Ducato. And I don't remember the other big vans out there with big batteries, because the Volkswagen e-Crafter is a joke. They have 36 kilowatt hour battery without thermal management. They just wanted good enough payload, but this is a proper van. Just wonder how thirsty it is if I would do 1,000 kilometer challenge. So if enough people want me to do this, I might consider 1,000 kilometer challenge. We can borrow this and do something different than my normal runs. I mean, this is probably so big that I could fit a Hyundai Inster in here. Okay, anyway, I think that's gonna be it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.